first let's get oriented with this map right here. Old Pasadena is 22 blocks roughly centered on Colorado Boulevard and Fair Oaks Avenue. I'll be walking you along Colorado Boulevard this way, starting at the intersection of Colorado and Pasadena right here, that I'm gonna cross this light as soon as it turns green. All right, now that we have a green light, I will just look down Colorado Boulevard. This street is famous for being part of the former historic Route 66. That's the highway that would take you from the east coast of the U.S. all the way to the west coast, ultimately to the Santa Monica Pier. It's also home of the famous Rose Parade, probably the most famous parade in the United States of America, maybe after Macy's Turkey Thanksgiving Parade in New York City. All right, so going down this street, the buildings here and this whole neighborhood dates back to the late 1800s and early 1900s. And that's one of the things that makes it pretty neat, is that there's a lot of history to be had here, and it's really been kept up well. It's not run down. It's not full of sadness and despair like a lot of Los Angeles is. And you can come to Pasadena, have a good time, and feel pretty safe about it. Pasadena is about 10 miles from downtown Los Angeles, so pretty close if you're staying in downtown LA. All the parking here around Old Pasadena is paid parking. Make sure you pay your parking meter, otherwise you will get a parking ticket. This one on the Ferrari or the Lamborghini was $56. I think they probably can afford it. It's okay. Now, a lot of the shops here, really high-end shops, because people who can afford things. RH Restoration Hardware. This is a really upscale furniture store. If you want to see some really expensive and cool furniture, stop on in to Restoration Hardware. None of that can I afford. Neither can I afford the Tempur-Pedic mattresses, really high-end, fancy mattresses. Herman Miller, I have afforded their office chair. I love their office chairs. Right next to a Love Sack, which is basically a big beanbag store. Oh, there's a Tesla store right here. So if you want to get in, try out some Teslas. Teslas are really popular in Pasadena. Lots of chargers and those sorts of things. Oh, if you want to pay for parking here, you'll find the parking in a lot of these like multi-bay meters. If there's not one right next to your car, you got to like get it from here and put the ticket in your car. That's probably what happened to that red sports car back there. There's a Starbucks just up ahead, but there are a lot of really boutique coffee shops here along Old Pasadena. So check those out for your coffee, unless you just really happen to love Starbucks. LA loves their Lululemon athletic attire, so you got to get your yoga pants and join the Lululemon Run Club. Tiffany and Company, the jewelry store right there on the corner. And I'll point out this intersection, you know, it's a scramble crossing. Everybody's crossing at the same time because there are a lot of pedestrians that walk around here, particularly in the evenings. This place gets really quite hopping Friday, Saturday evenings for dinner. Now, this thing right here, this is a old part that has been renovated into a shopping mall, but former industrial buildings, as many of these are. We're gonna tuck into this one in just a second. There's a movie theater that's inside, but we also just passed this store called Leafy. And Leafy, if you're looking for high-end plants, it's like a really high-end nursery in a store here on Colorado Boulevard. All right, this Aesop, everything's high-end here. If you haven't noticed, these soaps and lotions, these bottles of lotions are about $60 if you buy them, and you can get some little hand lotion to put on your hand and keep your hands moist as they're walking. An Apple store, not in a shopping mall, but in a really cool kind of like old theater looking building. Speaking of fancy coffee shops, this one, with the A and the antlers, it's called like Albert's Coffee, something like that. Alfred, that's what it's called. They have pretty neat things, guys, inside waving. So if you're looking for some unique coffees or teas, check out Alfred. Old Pasadena has a lot of little alleys. So down here where this place has burgers and beer, little alley, you can duck down. Salt and Straw, this is a really good boutique ice cream spot. Nike has a big store right here. A place called Parachute. This is like another interior design store, because people who live around here can just not have enough expensive furniture. All right, so we're gonna get off of Colorado here for a little bit. We're gonna go down Douglas Alley into this shopping mall that's here called One Colorado. That's what the name of this is. Now, like I say, this was a set of more old industrial buildings. One of Pasadena's first commercial laundry facilities was here, but now there's Il Forneo, and there's a movie theater tucked in here. So if you're looking to see some movies in an interesting theater, the movie theater is just back that way. There's also a lot of interesting art down in here, like this guy. I don't know what this guy's called, but he looks pretty neat. A lot of the restaurants have set up little tables that you can eat in here, away from the traffic, away from the noise. This place gets pretty popular, and so it can kind of feel like a little bit of a hustle and bustle out there on Colorado. But in here, it's pretty quiet and away from the big traffic. Now, speaking of like high-end nurseries, here's another one. Twigs, a full-service design studio, florist, and they've got some succulents that are out here. Keep us small and open. If you're doing something for a wedding or a big event, you can find some of your high-end plants right there. They're getting ready for Christmas, so they've got a reindeer that's up there. And last year, as I was walking through here around Christmas, they had a Santa Claus in this little plaza too. All right, so this back street right off of Colorado, I want to take you back here because I think some of the best restaurants, at least in the fast casual category, are back down here, just on this next block that we're going to walk down. There's an outpost of the Container Store. If you don't have enough things to store stuff in, you will get plenty of plastic boxes and shoe boxes and things like that in there. Let's go ahead and make it across this intersection so we're not waiting here too long. All right. There we go. I'm getting my exercise for the day. Oh, and sometimes out here, so let me just show you where we are now. We started right here, Colorado Boulevard and Pasadena Avenue, and now we are on Union Street and Fair Oaks Avenue. We sort of like skipped that main intersection, went through this little alley, and now we're here to check out these restaurants as I not get run over by the car coming into the parking garage. Most of the street parking is about 2 hours, so if you're gonna be here for longer, definitely consider going into one of the garages for a longer amount of time. Okay, if you like hot chicken, this main hot chicken, I see a lot of people eating here. Their boxes are all around. Howling Ray's, the most famous Nashville hot chicken, just opened a location about 2 miles from here in Pasadena. There was a line of like 50 people when I went to check that out today, so too busy. If you like tacos, Tacos 1986, super delicious. You won't find any seats inside, but you can get really great carne asada tacos, quesadillas, mulitas in there. I have had that a number of times. I really like it. And then Dirt Dog. If you like hot dogs and you've heard about the LA bacon wrapped hot dogs, then you'll want to check out Dirt Dog because that's what they specialize in here. The bacon wrapped grilled hot dogs. And here, we'll just open the door and peek inside. It's always a neat place. It's kind of like rap themed. There you go. Honors to Tupac and Biggie Smalls. And hot dogs aren't cheap. It's going to be about $8 or $9 for a hot dog from there. But your tummy will thank you later to check that out. What did I eat for lunch today? I did this place called Guisados as I was driving in. That's also another great place for tacos. It's about 1 mile from this main street. So I mentioned there's a lot of alleys. And see, look, here's just another cool alley. You can walk down, get your food from those restaurants, eat them out here, get your tacos 1986. There's no place to sit inside. That's okay, because you can sit in this little alley. They've even got string lights across to light it up at night and make it really quaint. In many other places in Los Angeles, you wouldn't want to be walking down little alleys like this because they're kind of creepy and sketchy, even with backs of buildings like this. But Pasadena does not have that vibe at all. It just feels really kind of neat and cool. All right, right here, we've got Intelligentsia coffee roasters. I'm going to see if we can actually walk through this coffee shop. And as we walk through, I'm going to be quiet just to not be obnoxious as I walk through the coffee shop. It's a little lively in here, so maybe I can talk All right, OC girl, she likes coffee. She's the coffee fan of us. She really likes the coffee from Intelligentsia. It's definitely more on the trendy side, as you can tell by the bright, clean interior in here. They also, in addition to saying they don't call themselves a coffee shop. What do they call themselves? You probably can't read it because of the reflection, but they call themselves a illumination bar to illuminate your mind. Oh, and if you like pie, this place right next door is really cool. This is the Pie Hole. There's actually a few different things in here. There is ice cream shop, and then down this way, Bearology, which is a boba shop if you like boba tea. Pressed Juicery if you want to get some juices. They're probably out to lunch. How much is a juice at this place? They're like $7 for like the smallest juice. And then the Pie Hole right back here has really neat pies. They're pretty good. They started in Los Angeles. Salted caramel pecan, pumpkin, and you can even get vegan options for those pies. Oh, and I noticed one of the drinks they had over there was liquid death water. It's water in a can that is called liquid death. So I think it makes people think the water is cooler. I've never had the liquid death water in a can because I just find it like a real marketing thing to try to get me to buy it. I'm curious though, fellow explorers, if you've had the liquid death water in a can, let me know. Is it amazing or is it not? And as we get to this intersection, the intersection of Colorado Boulevard and Raymond Avenue, this is another scramble crossing. You can kind of look down this way. I'm shooting this in November. Some of the they're starting to change color. And then as we look this way, we can see kind of a neat tower just back there. And so going this way, you can see these like taller buildings, just real classic old California buildings, you know, before people knew about earthquakes and decide you shouldn't build things out of brick. I'm sure the brick on many of these is just a facade on the front, and they've been reinforced on the inside because, well, California building codes, particularly in Pasadena, are pretty serious. Over here on the left, Barney's Beanery. This is a Mexican restaurant. You may say Beanery is a coffee shop, Mexican restaurant. Been here since 1920. Here is another alley that has some outdoor seating on the sides ever since the pandemic. A lot of these restaurants have really expanded to their outside seating. And then as we come up this way to Arroyo Parkway, this officially ends Old Pasadena, and then a few more neighborhoods. You get down this way, you get the Civic Center, you get the Playhouse District, and then you get their like lake shopping district just down the way. Now, if you enjoy classic architecture, one spot you definitely don't want to miss, just a couple blocks outside of Old Pasadena in the Civic Center district, is Pasadena City Hall. This is a favorite spot for newly wedded couples or soon-to-be wedded couples to take their engagement photos. Keep walking down Colorado Boulevard, turn to the left, and you will see this. So fellow explorers, if your travels bring you to Los Angeles, definitely check out Old Pasadena. And if you are coming to LA, you might enjoy checking out my LA travel series right here. In particular, my Santa Monica Pier walking tour. This is one of my favorite places in all of LA. Yes, I like Santa Monica Pier even more than Old Town Pasadena, but Old Town Pasadena is probably a close second in top attractions in LA. Well, fellow explorers, as usual, I won't say goodbye because I'm going to see you in one of those videos. Links are also in the description below.